final coat, your chemical provider. I actually wanted to bring your attention to things have changed since the last time you saw this demonstration. You're now Performance Auto Group. So now your products are just powered by final coat. You may or may not be aware of the changes, but you actually are in the rust proofing business. Your conglomerate, your group, buys our product by such quantity that they put your name on it. So you are Performance Auto Group, and now Performance Auto Group in the corrosion and Xzilon business. The demonstration we're going to perform today is to show to you a product that is second to none in the industry. We have an aviation grade sealant called Xzilon. Xzilon is new and improved. What's changed? It still gives you the great protections that it's always given you. A 10-year warranty against bird droppings, tree sap, acid rain, industrial fallout. Anything that would stick to the surface of this hood actually can be removed quickly and easily, and that's the goal. We used to provide Xzilon as a staggered solvent, so it's quite stinky and it's difficult to apply. Now we have it in a water-based product, easy to apply. You can touch it with your hands, and you don't have to worry about it affecting your skin. So I'm going to pass this around. Everyone had a real sniff at this.
Big sniff, Joe. Big sniff.
Big sniff.
Don't drink it, Joe.
Curl that mustache, Joe.
Wow. Wow.
Now, yeah, that's the point. Smell this. You can actually stick your finger in that one and touch it. This is an environmentally friendly product. It's a water-based carrier. It's easy to apply, and it actually gives the same strength that the standard solvent did. So, big differences to Xzilon. The most important thing we want to highlight is, does it do the same thing that the old product used to? And we're going to actually take a can of spray paint, regular ink paint, and put some on the hood of this brand new BMW and show you that it can actually remove quickly and easily. So I've treated half of this hood with Xzilon. People can come up and actually feel both sides of the hood. You'll be able to feel the difference. It's actually smoother. Now I want everyone to see this, because listen to this side over here. If you rub this side, you'll actually hear my hand. Hear that? There's fallout on this car. This is prepped for your showroom, and I actually have fallout on this side of the hood.
Don't show this to the customer.
Pay attention.
You can hear it. You can hear it, feel it, and see it. So before we apply the Xzilon product, we actually clayed this vehicle down so that the Xzilon would stick.
All the stuff you mentioned about bird droppings and fallout, is that in any of these brochures that we could have?
Absolutely. This is the brochure you're currently marketing with, and I've got enough for everyone to have a copy. And Brian has plenty in his office. If you go to the Xzilon page, you'll notice that it describes bird droppings, tree sap, industrial fallout, acid rain. All of these items are provided with a 10-year warranty. Yeah, so we've just really destroyed this brand new car. What's the MSRP on this one?
$57,475.
Hopefully I'm not buying a car today. This demonstration really shows you the merits of the Xzilon product. We're going to let this dry, and we're just going to wipe it off with our finger. So Xzilon puts a permanent protective coating on the surface of the paint. It's unlike any other polymer sealant or rosin-based sealant because it bonds to the surface. The only way Xzilon can be removed is with an abrasive product like a compound or sandpaper. So you can remove it, but it's not easy to remove. What it does by bonding to the paint is allow for a 10-year warranty against industrial fallout, bird droppings, tree sap, acid rain, and so forth. By spraying this paint on here, we've proven that it is actually bonding to the Xzilon and not the paint. That's very important. If you spray paint a car that has a wax on it, the product's going to go through the wax and then bond to the paint underneath and leave shadowing and actually destroy the surface of the paint. In this case, it's not. So it's just about dry now. And what this is doing now, you can see it's actually really dry on here. And if I just wipe it with my finger, it actually is removing the paint. I'll grab a fresh rag. I might want to use this. So what happens with Xzilon is you can actually remove it, and you can see here it hasn't touched the paint underneath. Not quite dry there, but there we go. There's a good example. So we were able to remove the Xzilon just with my finger, and everyone can try. Want to give this a try? Anyone else? Put your finger through it.
You should tell.
Brian, you should come out here
If
with
this ever happens, do you have
a
to
paint can
reapply
when
the
you're selling
Xzilon?
this stuff. You
No,
and Shirley.
you-
You should come out
we're
with a
not-
paint can and spray it. I'm serious.
Videos for.
I know, but it's nothing like the real thing, baby.
So I used one of these wipes this morning.
Show your customers for 5 minutes.
I used one of these wipes this morning, applied the product. I've allowed it in about 2 hours to cure. It takes about 48 hours for Xzilon to permanently cure the surface of this vehicle. You can do things like headlight covers, front bumpers. We recommend that any area that has bug damage on it, you do more than once.
Does that mean we should do it 2 days before we deliver the car?
Does not mean you should do it 2 days before you deliver the car. You can deliver a car within an hour of applying the product. So we've got paint on this vehicle, and I can wipe it off just with a rag. Now, I'm going to use a cleaner to completely remove it, but the most important thing you'll see here is I'm not affecting the paint underneath. If you look closely, and everyone wants to touch this, this is coming right off. You cannot do this with any other product. So this is how we're able to give a consumer a 10-year warranty, a one-time application, no reapplication required. It's going to protect your vehicle in ways that no other product can. Good waxes last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. The sunlight breaks them down and they're gone. A touchless car wash will remove many of the better sealants on the market today. This is a permanent protectant. You can't get better than Xzilon. It's an aviation grade product used on every aircraft that you've ever been on.
So so 3 years down the road, if you've done Xzilon, you're telling me that the water beads will come up on the
Absolutely.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah,
Wow.
up to 10 years. It's permanent. Once it's cured, it's permanently protecting the surface.
I'm not concerned about the 10-year warning, more so from the standpoint of you. Obviously, if you wax a car, you're going to see water bead up on it.
Absolutely.
So again, we don't wax it. 3 years down the road, we're going to see water bead up on this car.
Correct. You still have the protective qualities. You can wax on top of Xzilon. You're not going to hurt Xzilon if you want that slippery feeling that wax would provide you. If you like detailing your car and using a nice Mother's McGuire's or one of the better premium waxes, go ahead. You still have Xzilon permanently protecting the surface underneath.
Now, what about in comparison to a product like OptiCoat? We've had other, I don't even know what OptiCoat is, but in comparison to that.
Well, there is no comparison because you can't do this to any other product, with any other product. I mean, we've done lab testing where we've actually spray painted, and it will bond to the paint. And if it doesn't bond, it leaves shadowing in the paint. So it will actually go through and actually get right to the surface of the paint. Because we're filling in the pores of the paint and permanently sealing it, we know what we're doing. We're doing it for a long period of time. That's how you can have a 10-year warranty. But the other products, as I said, they're a polymer-based product, which is basically like a plastic bumper. And polymers stick to themselves. So when you apply 2 coats of wax, you're stripping off the first coat when you apply the second coat. It's a stripping and then applying product. They feel good, they look good, they just don't have the lasting qualities that you want on your vehicle today. And that's the purpose of Xzilon. So we know that Xzilon can bond to itself. It's one of the only products that does. If you Xzilon your vehicle and then Xzilon again, you actually get layers of Xzilon. The aviation industry, because of the service time of the jet, they put up to 15 coats on when they do it.
How do they apply with the big surface area?
Same product, same
By
process.
hand?
By hand. It's always
Really?
applied by hand.
Oh.
Absolutely. It was actually made for polished aluminum. So Xzilon was originally designed for polished aluminum and polished stainless steel. So it can stick to any surface and is a permanent protectant. So we actually have a letter from Boeing as to how they tested the product and the certifications, and Brian has it in his office for sales demonstration purposes to describe the testing that it went through. When they tested for Boeing, there were 20 companies trying to get the Boeing contract. Xzilon was the only product that satisfied all of their tests, which means minus 40 Celsius when you're at 35,000 feet, and then 40 Celsius when you land in Phoenix on the ground. So it's a dramatic temperature change, and you have to be able to withstand both climates, and Xzilon does. So I'm going to wipe this off now, and I'm going to use something that I wouldn't recommend you use unless you had Xzilon on the vehicle. And this is a degreasing product. This is a stripping agent. And you might use this in the shop on some brake parts, never on paint. but I can
So
use
watch
it.
this side, okay?
It's not going to get to this side. Don't worry. Now
So
this
the
is
brake
going to
cleaner?
stay. It's a solvent, so it's
That's okay.
Take a sniff.
have a good whiff of it because it's just going to wipe off. And you'll see here that we have not affected the paint underneath. And the Xzilon's still on there. Xzilon's not coming off this vehicle.
Ooh, I want a can of that stuff.
Yeah. Remember the gas in the 70s? It smells just like it.
I used to sniff gallons of what was it called? Wellwood contact cement. It smelled just like that stuff.
That's what I'm doing.
That's why my brain is burnt.
That's why you're selling so many cars, right? You are being videoed, you know that. So you can see here that now I'm going to have to get a fresh rag and take off the little black bits, but it has completely removed the paint and we haven't affected the surface at all.
So do you recommend claying every car that gets done? The Xzilon?
It is recommended that cars are clayed. Your service department will have a clay mitt that it makes the process a bit quicker, so it's basically the size of a wash mitt. One side usually a wash pad, the other, and you guys have them back there.
We just have pieces of clay.
Pieces of clay, okay. There are clay mitts available now, it's an advancement, so you can actually get a mitt that can do up to 100 cars. It just makes it faster to remove.
Of course, yeah.
You supply those?
We do not, no. We only supply the product that you use. We don't
Where could they
supply
get
the
them
cleaning
at?
materials.
The clay bed store?
You're at claymint.com. Claymint.com.